Hello and welcome. I'm Tauni at Yoga 413, and today we're going to be doing a full body yoga flow. Just taking time on our mat to move and breathe and feel good. So I hope you enjoy this class. If you do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and always feel free to drop me a comment below. When you're ready, let's get started. So we're going to begin our class in a child's pose. So let's come down onto the mat. Take the knees wide and just gently lower down, either taking your forehead to the mat or stacking your fist. Begin to connect to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As you inhale, breathe in some energy. As you exhale, release anything that's no longer serving you today. Choosing to set aside distractions and simply breathe. Begin to extend your arms forward into extended child's pose, lengthening through the back. Then gently begin to walk the hands over to the right, gently shifting your hips to the left to stretch through that side body and low back. And then begin to move to the other side, extending the arms, shifting the hips. Walking those hands back to center. Take a nice big breath in and out. Begin to rise up onto all fours, drawing the knees under the hips. We're going to flow through cow and cat pose. So as you inhale, gaze forward, lift that tailbone. Exhale, round the spine. Again, inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding chin to chest. Continue at your own pace. Just starting to awaken all those muscles around the spine. Let's do one more round of breath. And then find that flat back. I want you to take your hips to the right like you're trying to draw them to the shoulders, and then over to the left. And again, just take your time, move slowly with the breath. Just starting to move all around that core, that midsection. Let's do one more time. Coming back to center, let's lift into our first down dog. Hands are shoulder distance apart, feet are hip distance. And add any movement here that you'd like. I always like to pedal out my feet. Just start to open through the backside. Then when you're ready, find stillness, knowing you can always keep those knees slightly bent. Begin to lift the right leg up for one leg dog. And then as you exhale, draw that knee into the chest. Slide those shoulders over your wrist for a high plank pose. And then inhale, lift all the way back up to one leg dog. As you exhale, draw that knee this time through the chest to step the foot forward. And then drop that left knee to the mat. When you're ready, rise up with the inhale. And exhale, sink into those hips. Take one more breath here and take the gaze more up, and then cactus your arms, bend those elbows, pull them towards the center of the back. Taking the hands down to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Let's do that on the left side, so lifting the left leg. Exhale, slide forward into that high plank, knee to chest. Lift it back up. And then draw that knee this time through the chest to step the foot between the hands. Back knee to the mat and rise up. And exhale, sink. One more breath. Inhale, open up, bend those elbows, cactus those arms. Taking the hands to the mat. This time, step back to a plank pose. Remember, you can always take the knees to the mat for support. Eyes slightly forward. Take that inhale, and then exhale, lift the hips up to down dog. Begin to look forward, bend the knees, and step the feet to the top of the mat. As you inhale, I want you to lengthen your spine, come into a half lift. So lengthen through the tailbone, lengthen through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, gently come into your first forward fold, knowing you can always soften, bend those knees as deeply as you need to. We're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Arriving in Tadasana, mountain pose, palms forward. Legs are firm. Inhale, reach up. Swan dive, fold forward. Lengthen to your half lift. And fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Inhaling. Exhale, lift those hips up and back for down dog. Begin to lift the right leg for one leg dog. Exhale, knee to chest, high plank. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, all the way through this time, stepping that foot forward. And we're going to keep the back knee up this time. Remember, your option is to keep it on the floor. If not, we're going to open up here into this high lunge position. Then as you inhale, open up to the sky, chest opens, cactus those arms. Bring the hands down to the mat, stepping back to plank. Shift forward and lower all the way to the mat. Take the tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale to a cobra pose, just a baby cobra. As you exhale, come down. Flowing, inhale, lift to cobra. And exhale down. Elbows going towards the waist, towards the rib cage, and come down. We're going to flip the feet over, start to firm the legs, the belly muscles, press those arms strong and straight to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Just take a moment here, just to breathe. When you're ready, as you inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale forward to that high plank, shoulders over wrist. Feel strong. Inhale, lifting back up. As you exhale, step that foot all the way forward. Come up into that warrior lunge position. So take a moment here. You can always bend the knee, kind of find your center, and then press back through that heel when you're ready. On that next inhale, open everything up, cactus those arms, open the chest, and come into plank, stepping the foot back. Breathe. This time we're going to lower all the way to the mat again. Take the tops of the feet to the mat, lift into your cobra pose, and come down. This time as you lift, bend that right knee and turn and gaze over your right shoulder. And come down. Try that on the left side. And release. Good. Tuck those toes underneath. Engage all the muscles in the body and then press it up. Downward facing dog. Begin to look forward and step or float to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen to your half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up with a strong straight back. Reach your arms up over the head. And exhale, hands to heart. One more flow. Inhale, reaching up. Swan dive, fold forward. Lengthen, half lift, and fold. Stepping back to plank. This time lowering halfway down or onto the mat and then into up dog. Cobra is your option. Downward facing dog. Sweeping that right leg up. Come into that high plank, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, step it all the way forward. Rising into warrior lunge. Take that inhale to open the heart to the sky, cactus those arms. This time sweep them all the way back up. And then open to warrior two, dropping that back heel to the mat. Take that right palm up to the sky and reach back for reverse warrior. Begin to rise up, circle the hands down, take that left hand to the mat, right up, revolved warrior lunge. Bringing the hand down, step back to plank. Take that inhale, and then exhale back to down dog. Let's try that on the other side, so lifting the left leg. Exhale, high plank, knee to chest. Lifting it back up. Step the foot all the way through this time. Rising up, warrior lunge. On that next breath, inhale, open, use your arms, cactus those arms. Sweep them all the way back up. Warrior two. Always take a moment here to ensure shoulders are over your hips, knee over ankle, left palm up, reverse your warrior. Begin to rise up, circle those arms, right hand down, right heel lifts, revolved lunge. So even in this pose, you could take your knee to the mat if that's better for you. Go ahead and take that hand down, step back to plank, and we're gonna lift into downward facing dog. We're gonna come into one more plank pose today, so just come into that plank, and your feet are still hip distance apart. Roll to your right side, so come onto the edges of both feet, and take the arm up for side plank. Returning back to plank, let's just flow to that other side. Pivot to the edges of the feet. Coming into that side plank, staying strong. Coming back into that plank, one more inhale here. Exhale back to downward facing dog. So bend your knees, look forward, step or float to the top of your mat. Lengthen the spine and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, high mountain pose, arms overhead, hands to heart center. Let's balance. We're gonna keep our right foot connected to the mat, and you're just gonna pivot. We're gonna do tree pose, so you can pivot that knee out to the side. You can assist it up above the knee, or some of you might wanna keep it down low below the knee. Find that pose that works for you. Bring your hands to the heart. Just feel that energy move up through the leg, standing tall. Maintaining that nice steady breath, focused. Slowly start to come out of the pose. Can shake that out. And then let's try it on the other side, tree pose. So just rotate that knee open, that hip open, and then find the pose that works for you today. Feeling grounded and strong. And I tell my class all the time, trees move, so don't worry about wobbling. And And slowly and gently come out of the pose. Beautiful job. We're going to start to move our way down to the floor. So first I want you to start into a chair pose. So bend the knees. Arms can stay lifted or even bring them to the heart center. Now begin to lift your heels up off the mat and bring the hands to the heart. Slowly and carefully, start to bend your knees. Know you can always take your hands down to the mat. Go nice and slow. Then take the hands to the mat. I want you to just wrap those arms around the knees. Feel a nice stretch in that low back. Just tucking into that ball. And taking the hands down for support and have a seat on your mat. So we are going to find our sits bones, reach those arms forward, and then either come onto the toes or lift into boat pose, keeping the knees bent or straightening, up to you. Let's release and extend that right leg out. We're going to drop that left knee open, foot to the inner thigh. Let me scoot back a little bit. Reach it all the way up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Begin to lift up and also lift that left knee. So take that right arm up over the head. We're going to do a seated twist, hooking that elbow outside of that knee and just turning your gaze over your shoulder as you sit up tall. So begin to untwist and let's switch sides. Taking that right foot to the inner thigh. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hinge forward and stretch. Coming up and lifting that knee, moving into our seated twist. Left arm up, hook that elbow and twist. Begin to face the front, and we're going to take it all the way down onto the mat. Bringing the feet right under the knees, hands to your sides. Let's press the hips up into a bridge pose. Begin to open the chest by walking the shoulders together. Releasing the hips. Let's hug the knees into the chest, start to rock side to side or some little circles here. Little massage for your back. And then give me one more hug in. Then take the feet down, drop the knees open for reclining butterfly. Hands just resting on your midsection. Just once again, connecting with your breath, noticing the rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and exhale. Now extend the legs out onto your mat, arms at your sides, palms up. For Shavasana, we're going to spend just a few moments here in just complete relaxation, not only for the body, but most importantly, the mind. And if you're struggling with those thoughts wandering all around, that's okay. Simply just say to yourself, breathe in as you breathe in, and breathe out as you breathe out. And I'll be back with you in just a moment. So when you're ready, begin to wiggle the fingers, the toes. Then maybe a bigger movement. Start to bring movement into the arms and legs. And then softening those knees, rolling to your right side into this fetal position, where we pause, acknowledge gratitude for our bodies and whatever it is that you're thankful for today. And then help yourself up to have a seat on your mat. You did beautifully. I hope you feel better than when you stepped onto your mat. Let's reach the arms up over the head and then bring the hands to the heart center. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Y'all have a blessed day, and thanks again for joining me for class. Hey y'all, if you stuck around till the ending, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this class, be sure to subscribe. You can also subscribe to my email if you go to yoga413.com. Follow me on Instagram. Love to connect with you on social media. And I just really appreciate you being here. Have a blessed day.